So, should we begin with a round of introductions, self-introductions?
Now? Okay. Hello, this is Efe. I am Subway's Middle East, Africa and South Asia Director. From Dubai office, we are overseeing over than 1,200 locations. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arun, founder and CEO at Skellam AI and Kubrix.
Hi, I'm Shajir. I'm the managing director of Mayfair Restaurants. We operate a dozen plus restaurants across UAE and Qatar.
Hi, Akhilesh. I'm the founder and CEO for Molten Salt Hospitality, and I've been tasked with moderating this interesting subject. So I'll try and keep it to the point, brief, and I think, gentlemen, we have about a half an hour, give or take. So we'll try and restrict time. I know it's a very interesting topic, and we can deep dive, but I think we'll come back and zero onto the main topic. I just like to say that there's been so much talk about technology since the morning on different sessions, different panels, different facets, and somewhere, being an operator consultant myself, I sometimes, not just today but generally, I get lost in the myriad complications of different styles and types of technology to be implemented for different departments, usages, and implementation within a particular restaurant, forget a system. What further complicates is we all have to serve a common purpose, and that is great customer service. So topic for today being, let's deep dive into engaging with our customers, being as personal as we can, like we used to be in the good old days, but that was more handshake and face-to-face, to cut short, straight technology today. But how do we engage with them? How do we stay connected with them? So we'll discuss that as the primary subject today. With AI, artificial intelligence, when we pick up that subject, and Arun, I'll come to you first. You run a firm which is deeply rooted in tech, and you've taken the core topic of artificial intelligence, and you've got some great case studies which you've shared earlier. So I'd like to understand from you and for everyone else, why AI, and how have you seen that technology element go forward towards customer engagement?
So traditionally, businesses, before the digital revolution, we have always been talking to our customer, knowing who they are, right? You know their name and you know what typically they like. And often they are your regular customers. Go back to your 20 years, our parents' generation. Well, now, with the digital revolution, and especially post-pandemic, we often don't get to see our customers. We don't know what their preferences are. And that creates a barrier to engage with them personally. So what we do is that we understand the customer's interaction. So we plug into all the customer interaction data. That could be their purchases, their using of your app, if at all, if you're having an app, how they are, if it's e-commerce, how they are behaving in your website, and then what they are adding to their cart, what products they view. So the idea is a data-driven personalization, and then we use the platform in general. So when I say we, this is what we are representative of where the industry is moving towards. There are our competitors also doing something similar. So when I work with our large enterprise customers, the idea is that how can I create personalized offers, for example. When a customer signs up to my app, when they make the first purchase, or when they have their birthday, or when you want to regain your lost customers, what should be the right personalized content I should send to them? What should be the offers I should send to them? Or what time and what channel is their preference so that they are converting in that offers. And it need not be always offers. It could be a simple email communication. So understand that the customer preferences in terms of content, channel, offers, and then tailor the engagement to that customer's preferences. So one of the largest coffee chain we work with, they use our platform to personalize each of the 20 million plus customer engagements. Each person is known individually, and then then we help them to create custom tailored offers. So it's not like a one size fit all offers. Everyone gets their favorite offers based on their habits. So does it make sense, Akhilesh?
Yeah, so are you able to, you're going on to the loyalty side now, is it? What I wanted to understand is also, does AI per se help before loyalty in terms of customer acquisition and engagement? And once you've done, I'd like to come to you, Effie, because it then becomes very practical of an understanding from an operator perspective, and also when you run stores, when you run outlets. Now, be it a cloud operation or somebody walking through the doors, either for takeaway or dine-in, it's an enigma. You don't know where the customer is coming from. So that is, I think, an important point as well.
Yes. So to know a customer, right? Leave AI and leave data. Even as a human, to know a customer, there has to be a first interaction, correct? So before they exist as your customer, it probably is, you will not have a lot of data to personalize the very first interaction. But what I have seen a lot of big leaders in the industry do is that they use the intelligence which is aggregated. So let's say that somebody is in a geo-fenced area of your store and you want to acquire that customer, or maybe he already made first purchase, but your intention is to make them second and third purchase. So we have the collective data. So we have this notion of, okay, what our similar customer has done in the past. So you extrapolate that customer's first purchase and use that data to extrapolate what the other similar customers have done, and then use that to engage that customer. So if you have to send them a personalized coupons, you actually rely on that aggregated data. But until there has been a reasonable level of customer interaction data, you cannot truly personalize. But you can connect with the similar customers, that's possible.
Coming to you now, in your experience of operating restaurants, and that's real operations, dealing with customers comes only second to first dealing with the teams internally. If they're all right, the operations are all right, and then of course the customer service is superior. But engaging with customers in a pure tech format.
That's a good question, actually. From our end, as an operator, we are just overseeing, all the conditions, and additionally, this is the most important part, I believe, that the needs of the customer, what customers are expecting. So we are just overseeing all these things. We are collecting the feedbacks, and AI is in the center of it. Because you're right. You were just in the beginning of the discussion, you were saying like in the old days we were just shaking the hands. Everything was just face to face. Now everything is depending on the technology, and AI is just standing in the center of it. So what we use, actually, I think we should just identify the thing, just to start from the real estate part, for example. Because as an operator, the first action that you are taking, opening the outlets, right? Before creating the customer experience, first of all, you need to be in the right spot. So what we use, for example, we are just taking AI as a part of it, and we are just taking them as a partner of us. So we are identifying all our locations in the regions, even all globally. We have many AI partners for that. And we are just identifying the sites with just taking many, just considering many metrics while deciding on that. Like, for example, the income level, or is it the right neighborhood? What are the neighborhood, the neighbors, the competitors, so many things. Is there any other location which would cannibalize the store that we're going to open? So there are many metrics that we are just considering, and AI just giving us this, they're just enabling us. These kind of apps are enabling us. When it comes to also the in-store experience, and let's say like we open the location, then later on, we are also taking many strategic decisions with using AI as a tool of it. What I mean, for example, I can give an example. As globally now, Subway is in transformation process for the menu. So, but the feedbacks that we get from customers, the speed of time is the most important part, and the time is changing. Now, in the past, the Subway's DNA, the Subway's core business is depending on the customization of the items. And you just enter a restaurant, Subway is enabling you just to select whatever you like just to add in your sandwich. So it's a customized sandwich that you are. But the feedbacks that we get from the customers in the last 2-3 years, the thing that we are just seeing is customers are now waiting from us less questions when they're going to order. So this is driving us to launch our ready-built sandwich program. So it is not meaning like we are just excluding or we are removing our customization. Customization is going to be still center of our business, but additionally we are adding, for example, the ready-built sandwiches. So when a customer enters, they will just decide on that. For example, kind of giving a strategic decision like this, which is very, very important, by the way, from our end, we use AI again. We use the heat maps in the restaurants. And we just measure the people, how much they are spending time in front of which station. And additionally, also in US, these things are just happening. We just also measure the eye movements of the consumers. What parts of the menus that they are looking at and how many seconds. So all these things are just allowing us. So AI is just giving us a report on that, and we are just making our decisions with this help. So I think this is a good example.
I think I need to come back for a training 101.
Of course, of course.
But let me come to you, Shajir, at Mayfair. You said you've got about a dozen restaurants operating, UAE and Qatar. Have you implemented or do you foresee the heavy usage of technology, especially AI, within your setup?
We only started looking into AI over the last year or so.
Okay.
In fact, as an operator, I like to give some insight into what gaps that we think that AI can fill in.
Yeah.
So we operate restaurants wherein we take most of the guest details. That doesn't happen in many restaurants, in a fast food or QSR. But we operate the kind of restaurants where most of the guests who walk into the restaurants, their details are taken at the point of entry or at the time of reservation.
Yeah.
So we do have, in that sense, a lot of customer data. As of at this moment, I have over 200,000 customer data. So we have been thinking, it's good to have the data, but then how do you make use of it to, give a better customer service and drive the revenue, higher? So one of the areas that we looked at, in implementing AI analytical tools was actually, I have over 200,000 customers in my data, and how many of them have actually dined at our restaurant, let's say in the last 1 month or last 3 months, or let's say I have a set of customers who come to my restaurants every month. And out of those customers, how many of them have actually maintained that repeat frequency, or that frequency has changed, or they have not visited at all. So it's not easy to dig out these data from 200,000 numbers. We did use some traditional analytical tools, but it didn't really take us too far. That's when we actually started looking at. And then we wanted to, build in a customized experience to all those 200,000 numbers. Let's say when they come, we wanted to see, we had some basic information like their birthdays, special days in their lives like anniversaries. So even if they don't dine in, we are able to engage with them. Let's say if it's their birthday, we send out a message a couple of days before the birthdays saying, okay, happy birthday, and we look forward to having you. And then we are one of the first restaurants that actually offered free dine-in. If you're celebrating on your birthday, if you come into our restaurants, it's absolutely free, actually.
I'll send you my details.
Right. So we send out these, messages, and some customers we even do give a call, because no matter what tools you have, AI or any other analytical tools, there's nothing, better than having a face-to-face conversation. Or the next one is actually at least having a call. So we have been able to use the analytical tools to get these insights as to, okay, how many times the customer is visiting. So that will help us to design some offers or personalized experience to entice the customers to maybe increase the frequency. And also when they come into the store, we offer an all-inclusive experience, actually. But then when you have a large spread of food, people have choices. So we try and identify the choices and build those preferences into the system. So when the waiter goes in, he doesn't go there and take the order, because then it's all inclusive. But then our waiters go to the customer and tell them, sir, you preferred this particular item last time you came. Would you like to go for that, or would you like to try something else in our menu?
So I was, to FA's point as well, but is that manual driven or dependent on the waiter, or is it tech enabled?
We have enabled it in our system. It's not a POS, actually. It's a dine-in management system.
Right.
So it's not a typical POS.
The data goes into
but then
the system.
that data is picked from our customer data.
Right.
And but it's not complete, because to tag all this information to 200,000 customer database is not actually easy.
Difficult.
And another area where we used, I wouldn't go to the extent of saying it's AI, but it's traditional analytical tools. But this is where I would like the AI to really come in. For example, we are actually one of the most reviewed restaurants, online reviewed restaurants in UAE, with over 20,000 reviews across our restaurant platforms in Google and Zomato. And so, it's when I started my first restaurant, I used to go and read every reviews and try and understand if there is a pattern that's emerging, and try and fix. If there's a problem, yes, try and fix that. If the pattern is something that's positive, work on improving that as well.
So when getting on to marketing, I was going to take that topic later, but since he's picked it up, Arun, can I come to you first on this? Extension of AI. Now, so far we've discussed engagement with customers. We've delved a bit into operations. The customer walks in, the menus that he looks at, from your perspective, is there applicability of AI extending into not just loyalty, which is an arm of marketing, but mainstream marketing?
When you say mainstream marketing, are you
Reaching out to customers to acquire new customers.
Yeah. So to acquire new customers, you will need to understand the behavioral patterns of your existing customers, and then find out who are the right customers to be targeted based on your existing patterns. So let's say that you want to promote a particular food item or a particular beverage, and then you want to understand who are the customers to be targeted so that they can be most efficiently acquired. So the problem is a little reverse. Earlier we were talking about, given a customer, what is the right content to be promoted, right? What's the right product to be promoted? Here it's a little reverse. Given a particular content or a particular time period or an event, who are the right customers to be targeted so that they can be acquired here?
Exactly.
Yeah. So AI is, and I would call this like more like a data-driven intelligence.
Correct.
Is applied to understand these existing relationships. So for example, you want to know what are the characteristics of the customers who are shown high propensity towards this particular restaurant or this particular price point or this particular product. Now you will, from the, let's say you are doing this campaign in social media, you can find out the lookalike customers. You know that from your given customers, who are those customers, and extrapolate that into a lookalike customers in social media. Then they are your target customers to be acquired for the given campaign. And I have actually personally worked on such solutions way back, like in Nordstrom. I was
Right.
working as a data scientist in Nordstrom
Right.
in US. And this is one of the specific problems which we solved there.
Okay, okay. Effie, coming back to you, you run multiple restaurants, different regions. You spoke about AI being implemented in the stores in the US. Now, how does that application work here for you in the local region? Menus are different, tiered to the regional tastes. Customer demographics, customer profiles are different. Does the same technology plug and play, or you've had to implement different modules and different formulas for it?
You are asking for the technology-wise, right? Not
Yes.
for the...
Well,
main-
AI
main-
implementation and applicability.
So for that strategy, actually, this is directly coming from global. So therefore, we are not, just customizing that part on that. But the thing that we are customizing, or let's say like localizing, is the ingredients and the sandwiches. Of course, you're absolutely right. Like, first of all, we cannot adapt the same sandwiches which Western part of the world is using directly to this region. So up to consumer behaviors, some expectations, etc. So we are changing and localizing. So while giving these decisions, also we are just getting the feedback from the consumers. We are making some field tests, etc. And also for sure AI, let's say like not AI, but the technology is helping us on collecting this data, because we are just collaborating with our consumers. We are just asking them to share their feedbacks, and we are using for sure just to collect this data technology. This is the thing. What I would like to just highlight to you, I will come back to your question about the marketing part that
Sure.
we use. Why? Because I have some examples which would be interesting for the whole audience, I guess, because it's quite interesting when I just also made my research on that before, of course, as you can imagine, just being a panelist like that, so I need to make some research from my end, like just
Sure, of
homework.
course.
So in US, for example, again, or let's say like from the European, so during the Euro Cup last year, in European Championship, so Subway is also having a huge presence in Germany, France, or United Kingdom. So what we were doing over there during that time, we were just using our mobile app, and the AI was just enabling us when a team of these, for example, these countries are just playing against each other. Whatever the team scores, on that country, app is sending the push-up notification to all consumers and just like celebrating them, plus giving them some promotion. Like, okay, congratulations, France scored 1-0, let's have the Subway sandwich, like kind of a thing. So AI was just enabling us to do this stuff. Also here in this region, in GCC, we are now recently launched the halloumi cheese sandwiches. So it's going as a very successful market launch, product launch for us. So what we are doing for the AI, we are just identifying, the AI just identifies the consumers who are stuck in traffic during the rush hour and just sending some SMS messages just to drive them to visit a Subway restaurant and get them a halloumi sandwich. Like kind of things, AI just supporting us on that. So I'm just coming back to your question regarding the localizing the things and AI, where AI stands on that. Additionally to Subway series, for example, we are doing in Kuwait, there is another campaign, another thing that we are doing is just having, AI's help on that, drive-thrus. So we are not only using the AI as just identifying the sites, or we are not only just thinking like this AI is a part of the loyalty program, we are just thinking like as 360 for all the parts. So which is very important for us. For example, as I was saying in Kuwait, in the drive-thru channel, what we are doing, AI is just giving us ability to make some upsell automatically. On the screen, when a customer just uses the drive-thrus, when they're going to order, AI understands, while they're just ordering, AI understands the order from customer as verbally, and without waiting, sandwich artists upsell by verbally, directly popping up on the screen. Would you like to add some potato wedges, or would you like to add some, make it as a combo, like kind of a things? All of them are just happening automatically. So these are the local things that we are doing because, you know, in GCC region, as you know, drive-thrus are very, very important. So we localize ourselves, we adapted the system and just make it happen in the GCC in this way.
So, sorry, I'll just ask you a leading point on the, so does the pop-up happen personalized for each customer?
Yes. So
And
it's
that's
not,
based on their historical data, the style of ordering.
not the historical data, but system is understanding what they order and up to order what can be the upsell that they can make. So this is how it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Arun, leads me to the case study. You gave me a brief 2-minute snippet before, but if you could help everyone understand here.
The case study.
Yes, please.
Sure.
And then, of course.
Sure. Yeah, just to add to his point, right? So that's an example of aggregated intelligence, right? So you know the product relationships, and then the person makes a particular product. What is the right product to upsell? To do personalization, you need to understand the historical background. But that's one level of personalization. Okay, on coming to the case study, yeah, we work with one of the world's largest coffee chain, and we help them personalize every customer engagement, that is the loyalty, promotions, email campaigns, product recommendations, apps, drive-through. So we power all the AI-enabled intelligence to do that. So as a result, it has resulted in, in aggregations of more than $200 million in aggregated incremental revenue for the customer. But again, the customer I work with is one of the largest in the industry. So every customer touch point in the app, when a customer wakes up, what he sees in the app, order this, or when then an upsell happens and the checkout, or when a promotional offer goes to the customer, that is being powered by our AI platform. So this processes about 2 to 3 billion transactional data for 20 to 30 million customers. And this is a journey which our customers started in 2017 with partnering with us. We are located in Seattle, and starting as a small company, but we've been known for our expertise in this area. So the incremental revenue, the engagement went up more than like double. But again, engagement went up from, let's say, engagement in the app towards accepting an upsell went from, let's say, from a 1.5% to 3%. Remember, when you talk about 1% increment for 20 million customers,
That's
you're
huge.
looking at huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so even to get to that, you need a lot of work to do that. Like every 0.5%, a 0.5% increment is a big milestone.
And would you be able to highlight that 1.5% jump translated into how much percentage revenue increase? Does that metric connect?
From where we started and
Correct.
where we, yeah. So when we were approached, there was an existing solution who were at about, let's say, 1% conversion rate. So our challenge was to first exceed them. So the kind of algorithms which we deployed is a continual learning system, which tries to optimize itself. So it kind of challenges itself. It looks at each customer and then say that, let's say you are trying to give an offer. It sends an offer and said what the customer did that with that offer. If the customer accepted that offer, it learns that, yeah, maybe this kind of offer will make sense. And then it will continue to do the same thing. And if there's a negative, that means the customer did not accept the offer, it keeps a score of that also. So it's a continually optimizing AI algorithm.
Wow. Let's work internal to the operations now. We've spoken about customer, but to serve the customer, yes, we deploy AI, but like you were saying earlier, and I'm asking you to discuss this further, how much of the data understanding do you need to share with your team members or rather take that training back of house, front of house to the team, to the, to the venue manager, to the chefs, to the teams down, because their buy-in is most important for the success of any technology. Do you face a problem with that, or are your systems so well laid out that it's rock and roll?
No, I've been fortunate to have a team that buys in whatever ideas we bring in to make the customer's experience more delightful. So I haven't had that resistance to.
But is it about more education and training and explaining the whys and hows of the system?
I think it's all about the staff understanding the objective behind whatever we are trying to do. Because I mean, if you're a good waiter, you'll have a happy day when you have served more customers happily.
Of course.
So if you have a team that's driven by that motivation, then everything is easier, right?
You've got a great team, man.
Yeah, so what I do is actually I try and identify people, who enjoys,
Right.
Giving that delightful experience to customers. So
Correct.
in that sense, yes, I haven't had any resistance.
Right. Effie, same question to you. Training to the teams.
Maybe not the training, but also you said like sharing the data. So the system is also just, I believe that especially when it comes to supply chain part, like just the cost reduction or the reduction of the waste, it's very important. I mean, not only for the upsell, as I said, like we are using so many tools to just to make the upsell even like automatically by AI, or even the data that we are sharing with staff, they just also see they by their own. This is the strong muscle of the staff, like the sales. So it's not a new thing for them. We are just only underlining it. But when it comes to supply chain, I believe this is the other and more, equally important part. What I mean, for example, is again, just linking to AI, we are using some inventory systems in our restaurants. These inventory systems are where the staff is going to order the next day's ingredients for the supply chain. The computer, the system is directly showing them how much amount that they need to order. Or they are putting the system is just, analyzing the previous orders and making the correlation with the sales and just telling you that you should order this amount of things. So it is reducing the waste. It is also avoiding for, our staff just to over-order some stuff. And I think which is very important, and all these data should be shared with the staff. So also the waste amount, all the other data that we can get from the reports should be shared, and just always to make them aware of it.
Correct, all operational metrics. But tell me something also, you do tons of delivery. Now, does this data help you for delivery mapping? You said heat maps about customers walking through the door, but even deliveries outside. Does the data reach the customer's end? Am I as a user, consumer, able to open the app and have customized menus for myself or with my ordering history?
Of course, definitely. It's in the center. I mean, delivery is just a big part of the business, for sure, as you can imagine. And, technology and all the aggregators, which is coming to your point, definitely. The aggregators are just, they're also providing us many technologies on that, so enabling the customers just to customize the products. And additionally, we are collecting these data, and we are just making the analysis over there just for the future promotions that we are doing. And these metrics, these data are becoming day by day more important, every day important.
Arun, I have to ask you a question, tech related. AI will impact or is impacting every department and section within a restaurant or an F&B establishment. Does it sit at the front, or do you have to integrate it with tons of other legacy systems within the restaurant? Point of sales, supply chain, recipe management, rostering, checklists. Does it play an impact over there as well? Can AI be the only tool I use, is my question.
Ideally, within the larger operational concern, you would want an integrated solution. That means take customer. You want one solution which covers all the customer touch points within that customer side of things. If you look at the operations, you want your POS, supply chain, inventory, all of them to be connected. If you have siloed solutions, you will have a little difficulty because your inventory won't be able to talk to supply chain. And supply chain will not be able to, supply chain system should be integrated to ordering. And so that, to his point, it can kind of predict what could be the ingredients you need to order for the next 1 week based on the demands it's seen this year and maybe the same time last week and seasonality and everything. So, but you still have the larger departments. Okay, you can separate customer part of it a little bit from the, let's say, inventory and supply chain management. I'm not saying it's totally disconnected, but to an extent you can do that. Yeah, so but what I've seen so far is that there are a ton of point-to-point solutions. Even in marketing, I've seen that, or customer side, one solution for upsell, one solution for email, another solution for...
That's the whole point, yeah.
And that is not the way to go. Unfortunately, you will need to go for an integrated solution. See,
Correct.
the power of the data comes when you connect it. If you let the data be in silos, it's not as powerful. When you get a complete comprehensive view of the data, and same thing, an algorithm can get all the data, then it's all the more powerful. And this pure operational nuisance also, how many systems you can manage day in, day out. I mean, you go to one system for your accounting, another system for your customer, another system for managing your orders. It's really painful.
True. Okay, final comments. I think wow. If you had one ask of AI from a tech developer like Arun, what would it be?
I wouldn't be, it'll be hard to pick one area, but given a choice,
Unfortunately.
I would go for any tools that help me retain the customers, customer retention tools.
You've got a loyal customer. Yeah. Effie, same question to you.
I think this is $1 million question, by the way. So,
Just pay me the $1 million later.
Yeah. The best way that I should do, actually, when I speak with a developer, I believe I should draw the framework, tell him the customer needs, and he should just give me the solutions on that. Because, also this is their specialty. This is where they know. This is their strong muscle. So I am the operator. So therefore, I need to just bring them my needs, and they need to just, define the solutions for me. This is what I believe.
Arun, if you had an ask
Akhilesh,
of the restaurants.
Akhilesh, I'm afraid I have to jump in. We're
Okay,
way out of
done.
time. So if I can bring it to a conclusion. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
chaps.
thank you.
Sorry, we have to conclude. We have to keep moving. Thank you very much.